I'm Liz for KelownaNow, and I'm here with Kyle Geronazzo. And thanks for being here, Kyle.
Thank you for having me out.
Yeah. And so you are with the Libertarian Party running in the Kelowna-West By-Election happening February 14th. So we've brought Kyle in here. We've got a little bit of a rapid fire questioning round we're going to go through. And Kyle has 10 minutes to cover as many hot topics as he can. So you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay, here goes. So we're going to start with housing. So Kelowna has a 0.2% vacancy rate, and the average price of a home is more than $500,000. The average price of rent is $1,043. So how do you plan to get new home buyers into the market and provide more rental availability that's affordable?
Absolutely, and I can definitely understand how the residents of Kelowna, West Bank, West Kelowna all are very concerned about the housing situation. It's not too dissimilar to what we're seeing in Vancouver. What I see it as is a supply and demand issue. What I would seek to do is to work with municipalities to relax zoning laws to allow for more options for more building within our province.
Okay. Great. On to fentanyl. So the fentanyl crisis is impacting all ages and demographics right now. And so first responders are tied up. The majority of the deaths aren't occurring on the streets. They're people dying behind closed doors. What should be done?
Well, the fentanyl crisis is a deep tragedy, and I personally think the way forward would be pursuing a path similar to what Portugal has done around 2001, in which we decriminalize, the addictive substances that people are hooked on. We treat it as an actual health issue, and we treat them as they are, as victims instead of criminals. There's the way we have it right now. There's no way to control or to really guarantee that what they're putting in their bodies is safe by any means. And we're seeing the tragedy that is the war on drugs.
Okay. And minimum wage. So the BC government plans to implement a $15 an hour minimum wage. First of all, do you support this? And if so, would you implement it sooner or later?
Yeah, the minimum wage is definitely a concern for our community. And I think it has a special impact on our smaller businesses. I really want there to be a livable wage for each and every Canadian. But what the economics boil down to is the real minimum wage across the world is always $0. I mean, what I would want to pursue is a way in which employees and employers can negotiate their wages in a way that would be profitable for both parties. If we push for higher and higher and higher wage regulation, what I fear is we're going to run into an issue where more and more of these low-skilled jobs are going to be automated, and it's going to price especially our youth demographic out of the workplace.
Okay. Healthcare. So KGH is already over capacity. It's not even peak flu season. How do you propose to deal with the patient overload and the long wait times? So that's a big issue in our community.
Especially because we have a very large retirement population here. Absolutely. Well, actually, I got another very interesting point recently. Physician extenders, non-medical doctors. Someone approached me with this idea, and the idea is to have nurses or people who are not fully trained, say medical doctors, able to treat and assist doctors in a larger capacity,
like nurse practitioners.
Exactly. To allow for more of the lower level care that wouldn't need a full PhD perhaps. Okay.
And transportation. Urban sprawl is impacting transit across Kelowna. How do you solve the lack of transportation as well as the parking issue downtown?
The lack of transportation. Yes, I can definitely see the issue that we're running into. I feel our public transit system, especially when compared to other municipalities around the province, is lacking. I think the way forward for this, without adding more vehicles to our already overclogged roads, would be relaxing ride-sharing laws in BC.
Mm-hmm.
We already have all the vehicles that would probably be involved with the ride-sharing economy, but it would allow for people without vehicles to be able to closer connect to people with vehicles, to be able to get to where they need.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, you're doing really well. We're moving right along here.
Thank you.
Childcare. So childcare in BC costs upwards of $1,000 a month. Do you support universal childcare?
Well, I think the important thing about universal childcare is that it would have to come by necessity by our provincial government.
Mm-hmm.
I am not convinced that that would be the best way forward. It's a kind of a top-down approach, one size fits all, and I don't think that would be conducive to the care and well-being of our children. Mm-hmm. I think this kind of a program would be best left to lower-level governments, municipalities, or even better yet, the voluntary sector, mm-hmm. to which they can take care of the children on a one-to-one basis. Now, as the cost of this is rising, mm-hmm. I think we should look at some of the root causes for that. Our properties are increasing in value, our taxes are increasing, wages are becoming increasingly regulated. Mm-hmm. What it comes down to is what is the true value that we place on our child care workers, mm-hmm. and where's the issue? Where can we really pinch that?
Okay. Yeah. Education is another hot topic, and I mean there's lots of different avenues we could explore there. So specifically with post-secondary education, students are leaving with an average of $25,000 of debt or more. So some are looking to the European model of offering free tuition. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, on the topic of free tuition, when you get down to it, nothing can be truly free. Mm-hmm. What you're doing, what the Europeans do is they offset their cost of tuition into tax revenue. Mm-hmm. So everyone is still in effect paying for tuition, and often it comes at the expense of the people who do not. We have a huge demand for secondary education now, and I'm very concerned that might lead to a bit of a bubble bursting. Mm-hmm. What I see in a lot of people around my age or even younger is a very large group of them are very well educated, but they're still having difficulty finding the careers for what they're educated in. So I really do see the concern and the issue there, but I think we have to have more of a dialogue about this and find out, touch base with more of the students, more of the faculty, and find out where these costs are being built up and try to nip that in the bud.
Okay. So taxes is another hot topic. ICBC and BC Hydro are two businesses run by the government. Do you think the BC government should be involved in business?
Well, on the topic of business itself, I do think it's important that there's some sort of oversight to avoid fraud, to avoid theft, obviously, or counterfeiting deals, of course. Now, on the topic of ICBC, I really do think we need a better solution than ICBC. British Columbians deserve the choice in basic insurance, and well, the fact of the matter is, we're all adults here. We should be able to choose who we wish to insure with. All other groups in North America have the choice. Why can't BC?
Okay. Anything else you wanted to add on that?
Just to wrap it all up.
You wanna save your last 30 seconds for what do you want your voters to know?
Well, I think with me, the voters can have the option of a truer representation. With me, unlike the other candidates, you won't have a candidate who is going to be subject to party whip, who can truly represent Kelowna-West as someone from Kelowna.
Okay, and so that wraps up our session with Kyle. And so the by-election takes place February 14th for KelownaNow. I'm Liz. Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.